Hi, today I want to talk about headphones, and unfortunately my recent headphones broke again. So these are in-ear headphones by Philips that I've been using for a few months now, and as always, suddenly one of the headphones doesn't work anymore, so suddenly it's only music coming out of one ear, which is a little annoying. And what is even more annoying is that I bought like 30 of those already in my lifetime, and they always break the same way, and I don't really feel like sending them back or something, and I don't even know if there's really a warranty. And I think, frankly, I'm kind of rough on them because I usually sleep with them. Why? Because I listen to ASMR, which basically for falling asleep, which means I usually tend to fall asleep with headphones in my ears, and I wake up with the headphones being somewhere on the bed or on the floor, so probably the cables are being torn pretty strongly. But yeah, and then actually I bought pretty expensive ones by the brand Shure, I think, with detachable cord, but I lost the one. So these were headphones for like 120 euros, so I was a bit pissed about this, and I kind of decided I wouldn't be buying those expensive headphones anymore because the chance of you losing them is just too high. And frankly, those Philips ones, they aren't super expensive, they're 30 euros, but still, if you buy 30 of those, it's 900. And I like the sound quality of those, and I like that they have detachable ear things, basically, so for different ear sizes, and I like that they're noise cancelling pretty much. So this is the most important aspect for me. If I'm taking the bus or if I'm walking around, I really need that noise cancelling aspect because I'm very noise sensitive. So those are broken, unfortunately, so I decided to order new ones, which I would like to open with you. And I think they have pretty funny packaging. So this is the first one. What I did is basically I opened up I opened up Amazon, and I just looked for headphones with good ratings, although I guess you can't always trust the ratings, right? But this is what I basically did. And then I found those ones by the brand Klim that had a pretty good rating, and they were pretty professionally made. I mean, I guess those are made in China, as most brands, and probably they just made up this brand to make the Chinese product look a bit cooler. It has a pretty long length, 1.7 meters, and they are noise cancelling. And this, I don't like hammering in the bass. I don't want to have a super dominant bass. I don't know why all these producers make this super loud bass. I mean, even listening to bass heavy music like rap music, you don't want to have these basses that are way too loud. It's really not beneficial. And what I kind of, let's open it up. So it has a pretty cool box. I'm gonna open up this glue thingy, put it to the side. It's sticking to my fingers. Maybe at least it's making a kind of cool noise. But yeah, I ordered way too many things in these last days, and unfortunately most of them, like, I don't know how, like ordering shoes online, it doesn't work for me. They never fit me really. So this is the thing by Klim. I'm gonna open it up in a second. I like the sound of this box. Maybe I should do another lid sound video. when I open it up, there is a small Klim logo thingy, which I just got out. Yeah, some boring things written there. And here comes a small little bag that they put inside, which is probably supposed to be for storing your headphones. This is pretty cheaply made, and probably I'm not gonna use it because, yeah, it's too much effort to put those inside. And frankly, those headphones were like maybe 20 euros or something, so for me, it's not really worth to, yeah, to put them in these bags all the time. So this is a kind of bag where I think the different sized ear cups are stored inside. What would you call that? So basically the parts where that you put on the headphones, on the plastic, on the hard plastic, so the softer parts that you put in the ear. It's kind of like the cover, the earphone covers basically. And you have them in a few different sizes, which I can check out if I manage to open those up actually. So, trying to not be too aggressive, but oops. So where is it? So those are the different things inside. So for once there's like a clipper thing inside. I think this could be useful for clipping it to your pullover or to your sweatshirt. Then there are a few different sizes inside. I don't think these sizes are that big, and the material is kind of the one I kind of dislike. So I kind of prefer the Philip design, which is more plastic-ish, the covers, and this one is a bit of a more rubber-like material. And I mean, those red ones are too small for my ears, and the bigger ones might be fine. So I'll have to test this. These are the covers, which I'm going to put on later, and this is the actual product then. So what else do we have inside? So this is another thing, which I'm not even sure what this is good for. Is it for like in some trains in Germany, there's like two parts that you have to stick inside, and I guess one is for the right ear and the left ear, but I'm not entirely sure. I mean, at least for an iPhone and most MP3 players, you don't need this thing. So it has some extras. I don't really need this extra, but it's inside, so I guess you'll have to applaud them for this. And then here you basically have the actual headphone. It has small plastic covers above the actual jacks, which is a kind of a nice thing. It's not really necessary as far as I'm concerned, and we have too much plastic waste anyways on this world, but yeah. And there's a small plastic cover here as well. And here is the actual headphone. It is pretty good looking quality wise, but probably it's gonna break at some point anyways. This is just the nature of these products. I'm just gonna have to remove the plastic. I don't really need it anymore. Why is there so much plastic? And I mean, there's one disadvantage as far as I'm concerned, which is quite significant, and which I already foresaw when I ordered this, is that this is quite a long earpiece, which means sleeping on those is gonna hurt, because when I put those in my ear, and when I'm sleeping, and I'm always sleeping on one side, so I'm sleeping on my ear, those are gonna like pierce inside of my ear, and it's gonna be quite hurtful. So this is something that is quite cool about those from Philips. They aren't that long, so basically you can sleep even on your ear without completely wrecking your ear. But those ones, they're like a bullet, and they basically might be piercing in your ear. And yeah, what I will likely do is I'm going to replace those covers with smaller covers. You can get rid of those, and I think what I might do as well is just use my previous covers from the Philips headphones if they fit. So I'm gonna just use them and put them over my new ones, so they look a bit clunky, but whatever. So this is the thing I'm gonna do. They're a bit dirty as well, but that's just what it is. And then I'm gonna replace this one as well, and then I'm gonna put my other cover in front of it as well. This is just the way I do things. So here they are. I think quality wise they do look good. I'm just gonna maybe, actually they have a magnet here, which I read as well. So is this useful? Yeah, maybe. If you have them like, if you don't want to have them dangle around, they do have a magnet, and maybe that's why they're a bit larger, because they have this magnet at the bottom of those. I wouldn't really need this magnet, frankly, but I guess that's just the way it is. I'm just gonna put them on for a second. They're already like entangled, which might be a reason why they always tend to break. So yeah, just put them on. They seem to be a bit heavy here, which might be because of the magnets, but they don't look like they would be falling out. So there's a small button here, which I think could be used for changing the volume. And this is like a switch for changing, yeah, I don't know, might also be volume. I think there's no like button for changing the track, but there might be one for muting the sound. That's probably what it is. So yeah, and then there's this plastic which holds the cable together, and as far as I know, so the cable is 1.7 meters long. It's already like entangled, so I want to detangle it. So yep, I guess in total, even for very tall people, this should suffice. And yeah, I hate it when the cable is way too short. So yeah, I'm just gonna test them. Frankly, for the price, you can't really go wrong if the audio quality is okay, which I will have to test. And I am looking forward to testing these under dire circumstances, i.e. while sleeping with them, which I will continue to do, because that's the only way I can really fall asleep usually, while listening to audiobooks or listening to ASMR. That's just the way I am. So these are the first pair. You can find them on Amazon usually, and the top rated ones, or just look at the brand Klim, and I think they're gonna be maybe 20 euros or something like this, maybe even cheaper. So I guess even considering all the extras, it's very cheap, frankly. So this was the first pair. I'm just gonna clean this stuff up. Okay, I think that's enough. So actually, I bought a second pair. Why? Because I thought they're breaking anyways, and this one also wasn't that expensive, and also because I was afraid that the first pair that I bought might be hurting my ears, especially when I sleep on them. So I think these ones have smaller earpieces. It's probably also some thing from China. Does it have a brand name? Yeah, they call it Gritin or something. Never heard of it. High quality earphones, that's what they call it. Note: for your traffic safety, please do not use the headset while riding a bike, motorbike, or driving a car. Okay, that's pretty obvious. And we have a small little packaging, which is quite nice. I mean, It's no Apple packaging, but I don't need Apple packaging. I'd rather pay for the sound quality and maybe the durability. I would have to remove the plastic as always. I guess I'm gonna have to use my Syrian knife. Okay. This is my little knife. It's not very sharp, but it's fine for opening up boxes. So this is basically the second pair. I think it might even have been a bit cheaper than the first one. I mean, maybe 12 euros, maybe 15. I don't really remember. So that's the packaging. This is the plastic, which I don't need. This is a cool non-leather bag, like faux leather, which is supposed to be made for storing your headphones inside, which honestly, again, I'm not gonna be using because I don't need those things. But the sound this thing makes with the plastic inside is kind of pleasing, I think, and I can enjoy it quite a bit. So, what do we have here? Is there anything else? Yes, there's two different objects. So, what we have here is first of all a small little plastic, again with some different sized ear cup holders, like for different sized ear lobes, or whatever you would call it. And there's again a small clipper thing inside, and there's like two different sizes, so the other one had a few more sizes inside of it. And second of all, we have the actual earphones as they stand here, straight from China, wherever these were produced. And I think they look pretty fine. That's what they look like. They also have a bit of a larger head, which I do not love. They don't have a magnet, which is good for me. It's hard to see. Okay, there you see if it's left or right ear. Then basically there's a small button in here which maybe stops the music, but I'm not sure what it does. And oftentimes it's also not working, these buttons, and I would prefer if they didn't have them, because they might be susceptible to breaking the entire thing. And then there's another metal part here, which is a bit unusual and doesn't really have a specific function. I think the cable does look a bit durable. It's not very thin. It has some kind of plastic wrapping around it. And then basically here we have the tip, which is again covered with a small plastic. Maybe they all come from a similar factory in China. I guess it's just the way it is. You don't have to be mean about it. And yeah, there's not much else to say. I think I'm also gonna have to use other covers, because I guess these are likely going to be too small for my ears. Let's just test it. Yeah, they're falling out of my ears too easily, but they don't look bad. I mean, the build quality looks okay, but eventually it will just be a matter of durability, obviously, and this is the critical factor then when deciding if it's a good purchase or not. And I wish there were like brands where you would be able to keep your earphones for years, because I don't like having to buy them anew all the time. But I guess it's just the way the world works nowadays, that you buy cheap goods, but they also break really quickly, unfortunately. I can let them dangle down a bit. kind of an unusual sound, and maybe I'm just breaking the cable again. But yeah, I mean, why can't just a developer create cables that don't break? I mean, he would make a lot of money, or maybe he would not make a lot of money because people want these things to break. I mean, I just thought, like, if I'm showing my headphones, I can also show my bigger headphones. This is like my production headphone that I had been showing already in one previous video. It's basically the Audio-Technica, I don't remember the exact model name, ATH-M50X, and it's a pretty well-known one for DJs and music producers because it has a quite realistic way of quite realistic sound. Let's just say it doesn't change the basses so much, it doesn't distort the sound, or it doesn't filter the sound too much, which is important for mastering or mixing. It's a solid one, maybe 150 euros. Unfortunately, I haven't really used it so much, mainly because it kind of hurts. I have kind of big ears, and those headphones squeeze my ears too much, so they start hurting after about half an hour and start to give me a headache, which obviously is not a very good feature. But aside from this, those are really good. I mean, the sound quality is great, and I think they look cool. I bought them in white on purpose, and they are cool for DJing, they are cool for just listening to music, and they are pretty useful for traveling because you can just flip them like this. And I think those are especially, you could even wear them outside without looking too goofy, and this is why I bought them and didn't send them back, although frankly I haven't been using them really so much, unfortunately. And I mean, the white color, it will probably eventually fade or become grayish when you wear them, and maybe even yellowish, which is the disadvantage with those things, but you just gotta live with it. And then secondly, my go-to headphones are the HyperX ones, which a friend recommended to me, and I use these for listening to music and for gaming. They are generally linked to my PC, and you can change the size of it, and there's actually an additional button attached to the cable where you can change the sound, and you can select like a Dolby 5.1 sound, like a surround sound, which I don't do because it's not useful for gaming or something. And these are just super comfortable. I mean, as you see, the earpieces are pretty big, and so they don't really hurt my ears so much, and the sound quality is great. It's super comfortable. I think there are some other models, and it's an actual headset, so you can chat with your friends, and the quality is good enough. So this is definitely a recommended buy, because I think those were like 80 euros or something, so not super expensive, given the quality you get and also the comfort you get while gaming. And especially if you have a bit bigger ears like me, you will really enjoy those very much. So this was my short review of headphones. I will have to test them a bit more, and I hope you enjoyed this as well. And if you have any other recommendations for better headphones, please kindly write me, and I'm happy to test everything out. So see you next time. Bye.